Hello, everyone, and welcome to Talk Tuesday about business. My name is Nancy Steidel, and I'm here for Talk Tuesday about business every Tuesday, 12 noon UK time in the Business Missions Facebook, where I offer tips and advice in business. So today we are going to talk about I'm just getting up. Find my way here. Okay, there we go. So today we are going to talk about the fear of starting a business. A lot of people feel very fearful or don't want to take the plunge in business. So we are going to hopefully give you some advice and direction on how to get over the fear of starting a business. I run the Business Mission, www.thebusinessmission.com. You are more than welcome to visit the website, where we offer different services to help you start a business. So everything from business plan courses, we help you with strategy courses, there's trademarking that you need to start a business with, your legal contracts as well. We offer business support. If you've got a business and you're having a little problems with it, we'll definitely come in and help you with the restructure. I do everything one-to-one, so the business plan courses are all one-to-one sessions, so it really gives you full attention, and I also give you the full attention when you are doing a business plan course or any of our strategies. Okay, so as I mentioned today, we are going to talk about how you can overcome the fear of starting a business. I know there's a lot of people, I see on social media, they're not sure, they talk about it a lot, but they don't go ahead and start the business. Maybe they've got fear to start that business. And fear really is an illusion. And once you get over that fear and doubt, I mean, the journey is amazing when you start a business. It's really, really enjoyable when you get everything in place. Okay, the next one is, how can you address the components of this fear when starting a business? Okay, so we're going to talk how you can address it so that you get over that fear. And number 3, why is it important to create a business plan when you start a business, and what sort of financial costs are needed to start a business? Again, a lot of people plunge into a business not understanding their financial costs, and down the line, it becomes a big wake-up call where they can't actually carry on the business because they've got no money left, okay? So those are the 3 topics we're going to discuss. As mentioned, we're going to talk about how you can overcome the fear of starting a business, how you can address those components of fear of starting a business, and why it's important to have a written business plan and understand your financial setup before you start a business. Okay, so it's 12 o'clock and we are going to get cracking on. So the first question is, how can you overcome the fear of starting a business? Okay, maybe you are fearful. You will use a lot of time and money working hard on your business, and it might not succeed, or it might go belly up. Okay, I can tell you 2 things here. Okay, only ever start a business with the right mindset and the right skills and a deep knowledge. Okay, roll out your idea into a business plan, and really it cannot fail. If you put it on paper and you manifest what you are going to achieve, it definitely will happen for you. Yes, it's that easy. It's only when self-doubt crawls in, when you start to think it's not going to work, okay? If you've worked in a business before, okay, for somebody like a freelancer, or you're a salesperson, and you develop the right skill sets, and most importantly, you have a knowledge of the market, and also experience is key, which sorts a business that you want to set up. Look, fear is usually about the unknown and the uncertainty of an outcome, particularly an uncertainty of the undesired outcomes, plus a lack of control. So break it down. Fear is comprised of not knowing what's ahead, so that's lack of information, lack of experience, the possibilities of an undesirable outcome. So that's probability and chance, and the lack of control over the outcomes. Okay, so before we talk about these overcoming factors, note that if a positive outcome was close to certain, then everybody would be doing it and the reward wouldn't be that satisfying and unique. Okay, so you really got to understand that when you start a business, how to overcome those fears is just be prepared as much as possible. And that comes from doing a business plan, from writing out the roadmap, from understanding where you're going. And believe me, the journey is very easy and you will develop that confidence to carry on doing the business. Okay, so that is how you overcome the fear of starting a business. Again, if you don't have a map in place, if you don't know where you're going, then the fear will creep in. Okay, it's Nancy Steidel from the Business Mission. I'm very delighted to be here for Talk Tuesday about business, 12 noon UK time. And we're here every Tuesday in the Business Mission's Facebook page. So we're on to the next question, which is how can you address these components of fear you are when you start up a business? Okay, first and foremost, information, okay, and experience. The more you have, the less this is a fear factor, and this is completely under your control. The question is, how much work are you willing to put in order to eliminate this factor? How much time, effort, and thinking? Okay, most people go through a great length to avoid putting in the time of learning and thinking. So you will have an advantage here if you do that. Okay, so if you decide I'm going to send up an ice cream parlor because you like ice cream, you definitely can, but you need to learn about ice cream. Okay, maybe work in an ice cream shop for a year. Okay, take a course on ice cream, learn about how ice cream's made, okay? And then you avoid those fearful situations like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, because you already planned ahead, okay? Number 2, bad outcomes. First, think about all the likely outcomes, okay? That most people are obsessed about the very worst outcome. But the more you think about that, the more you can be sure you can avoid those undesirable outcomes, or at least know when to change your strategies and tactics. Most people fear about the outcomes that are imaginary or premature, and they don't take into account the evasive actions you can take at that time. Again, in a business plan, there's a SWOT analysis, okay? The strength, the weakness, the opportunity, the threat, okay? And this covers those issues, okay? Those issues where you are worried about the likely outcomes, okay? In the threat section, if there's a global downfall like COVID, what will you do? Okay, and so it covers you in the threat section. All right, so if you know that you can prepare yourself through strategies and tactics, then there won't be any fearful outcome because you are prepared. Number 4, control. This usually is the top factor in fear, and also for anger, unhappiness, and frustration. It is the lack of control over outcomes. Okay, but if you're an entrepreneur, well, then you're in the driving seat. Yes, you will soon discover there's a lot that is not in your control, but it's like driving a car. You can't control all those outside factors. Like if somebody cuts you off, you want to scream at them, but what you can control is the car. And when you react, then unexpected things happen. So while you can't always control what happens, you can control how you react and respond to it. Okay, and again, when you map that out in a business plan, you are aware of these obstacles that may occur and how you are going to deal with them. And then you become very responsive and you don't panic, because reactive is panic, okay? Most soldiers and great successes will tell you that they've always had fear, but they manage. Let's say the fear fuels their commitment to success. And most importantly, they take charge and control the situation. They make sure they have the information and experience over everything else, and they don't obsess about the negative outcomes, but instead just focus on moving forward and responding to avoid the negative outcomes when they occur. And again, I come back to the business plan because the business plan is a wonderful tool to prepare you what is ahead on your journey. Okay? Nothing is ever hard. It's all in your mind, surroundings, and people who are holding you to move forward. The best remedy to overcome fear is to try the things which are causing the fear. Remember, fear is an illusion. This is all it is. Danger is real, absolutely, but fear is an illusion. Okay? If you have a fear of starting a business, then you must try to start that business. Absolutely, do the business. What will happen? Well, only you will get exposure to the mishaps and nothing more than that. Okay? But remember, start small. Small steps. Okay, don't run and get an office right away or a Ferrari or something. Just start with very small steps and overcome fear of actually starting. Okay, I can't emphasize enough how a business plan can really help you overcome the fear of starting a business because you're taking that small steps to do the blueprint of where you want to go with this business, and it becomes really, really enjoyable. The big fearful part comes is when you don't map something out and you just say, I'm going to go in it with all I've got. And all of a sudden, you watch the building collapse. And that becomes very fearful. But if you do a map, if you do a blueprint, it becomes really, really enjoyable. Okay, so it's Nancy Steidel from the Business Mission. I'm very delighted to be here with you all today. I hope you will take on board some of the things I've said today. If you do know anybody starting a business or you're starting a business and you're feeling a little bit fearful, you can definitely write to me at info@thebusinessmission.com. We can set up a meeting and talk about getting over this fear and get that business going. Okay, so I'm on to the final question, which is why is it important to create a business plan when you start a business, and what financial costs do you need to set up a business? Okay, remember, a business plan is a description, a map of your business model, and it is important due to the following reasons. First of all, it gives complete direction to where this business goes. It helps you identify your potential market and your competitors. It gives a roadmap to achieve the short-term and long-term goals. It helps you in marketing strategies. It helps your business analyze the revenue, the expenses, the projected profits. Okay, a well-written business plan even helps you attract investors and potential people to come on your team. Okay, if you have an idea, please, I say this to everybody, and you want to start a business, then the number one thing before anything, before registering a business, before getting a logo, before getting a website, anything like that, get a business plan, okay? Since nobody knows your business better than you, you have to write that business plan. Okay, don't go off and get somebody else to write it. You've got to write it, okay? Now, if you choose to write it and you're not sure, then consult with the business person like myself that will review your business plan to make sure it is actually correct, okay? Again, if I wanted to build a house, I'm not an architect. I'm not going to risk that. I'm not going to just try to sketch something. I'm going to go to the architect and ask the architect for help to sketch it. And I will work alongside that architect to make sure that he does it correctly or she does it correctly, okay? So, so I guide and work with individuals for a fee, of course, to help them create a successful business plan, which will lead their journey down their business route really enjoyable. It will be so enjoyable and also profitable in the long term, which is important when you start a business, that you do make money from it as well. It's number one, you start a business because you love it, but of course the business needs to make money in order for it to be sustainable, okay? No matter what sort of business you're looking to build in, here are some things that you need to do before you start up a business. Now, Remember, many people who set up a business do none of these, and this is why these businesses never achieve the success and the self-sufficiency to it. Once they stop to realize starting a business is based on an idea and apply these steps, these results will change their journey. Now, number one, money. You need money to set up a business. Okay, when someone says to me, I don't need any money, yes, please, you need money to set up a business. You need to get a job and save money to set up a business. To start a business costs money. There's your trademark, there's your legal documents, there's maybe somebody working like myself with you, a mentor, a coach. You need money to live off. You need personal expenses while building the business. You can't take money out of the business when you are building the business or it won't grow. So for the first at least 4 years, you need to have another stream of income come in while you are building this business. Because if the business makes any money, it's got to stay in the business to grow the business, okay? So that's really important to understand. Again, I see a lot of people, oh, you don't need money to start. Yes, if you don't trademark your business from day one, trademark the name, and somebody else comes along and finds your name and their trademark, well, bam, there's a loss of revenue there. You'll have to be paid for their fine. You'll have to rip off all your design. So please start with trademarking, a business plan, legals, they all cost money, but it's good money. It's good money. It's like you decide to have a baby and you pay for a crib and all the diapers and the clothes and the roof over the baby's head. The baby at least has a successful start in life. And that's the same with the business. Because if you don't have any money to feed the baby, then you're now malnutrition the baby. If it doesn't have clothes, it will be naked. And, it's not going to be very enjoyable for the child. Okay. Number 2, formulate your business concept. This is where the business plan comes in. Move your ideas from the conversation, from your mind, onto paper. Whatever you're going to build, be it a business, a bookshelf, a building, you need to you need to put it down in writing. Okay, like when you get a bookcase from IKEA, they give you instructions. No, am I wrong? They do. There's a map to put the bookcase together. When you build a house, you get a blueprint, so and so, okay? When you put it down in writing, it will allow you to better visualize what the initial thing will look like, and it will help you think about the parts and how they all go together. Okay, and these parts are things like your marketing, your finance, your operation, those things, the team, how will that work? All the business is made up of very important parts which must work together if your business wants to go. The structure of the business and how it's going to be laid down. For example, the operations aspect encompasses all the aspects of delivering the product and your service that will be built around the business. What about the marketing? Okay, this deals with how and where and to whom you will tell your business and what benefit they may expect from your business. Now, the financial aspects deal with the money coming in, money going out. The people part deals with everybody which your business will have an impact on. This includes people who work for you and also who buy from you, okay? So it's very important. It's not uncommon as you think. People go through the entire process of starting a business are basically an idea and they think it is great only to find out that they really need to put it in a plan to execute it, to make it work, okay? So find yourself, if you're setting up a business and you're not sure what to do, find yourself an experienced mentor, okay? Somebody who can teach you how to structure the business. It's very different from running a business, okay? The other option is to do what most people do, go it alone, believing they'll figure it out along the way through trials and error. However, expect the same results, which most people get, is that 98% of those who start business fail in the business in the first 3 years. They will fail because they don't have an idea what they're doing, okay? They don't know how to structure it. There's lots of people who've got business ideas, but they really do not know how to structure the whole thing. It's a very different ball game, okay? So it's a bit like baking a cake without a recipe, okay? Most people who start, most people who start businesses are really good at what they do, okay? But the subject matter expertise is only one piece of the puzzle. You can be the absolute greatest chef in the world, but you don't know how to manage a team, or you don't know how to do cash flow. You can be the most amazing plumber, but this doesn't mean you know how to do marketing or scale your business beyond your abilities or find clients, okay? 95 or 98% of businesses fail because they're started by people who only understand the core, their passion of the business, but not how to structure a business, okay? To structure that business to make it run. They don't know leadership, and if you don't have experience managing people, managing cash flow, how to market, or manage everything else that lies outside your passion, the business will crash, all right? If you need a business guidance to get your business off the ground, please drop me a message at info@thebusinessmission.com. I really, really love helping people set up businesses. It's one of my pure purposes in life, I believe. And I really enjoy helping them structure the business to see their business succeed. With the clients that have been successful, the ones that I've worked with, I just feel this glow inside. It's been amazing. It's like they're all my children, and I've just seen them grow and succeed and become successful at what they're doing, and it's so rewarding for me. So I definitely can help you with that, okay? Finally, some of the financial onsets that you need to start a business is you need money for obviously trademarking, your legal documents, maybe a business mentor who will help you with the business plan. You need some money in the bank at least for the first 2 years so that, for example, COVID hit. You need money to survive through that. You need to have a job. And here are some questions to think about. Do you feel experienced on that particular business you are thinking to start? Do you have any savings? What are your own family and personal fixed costs? How much is it to be invested? Do you have it? What are your needs and wants in this business? Okay. Maybe you should speak to somebody who's been through that so you can relate to them a bit. Okay. Evaluate your risk benefits. What's the return on investment? And make sure you can get some support from close ones. If not, of course, starting a business can be lonely at times, but you need to learn to be your own cheerleader as well. So you need to have that courage, determination, drive, and focus to carry on to do a business as well, okay? There's a wonderful quote from Les Brown, which I'd like to share with you before I sign off, which is, "The graveyard is the richest place on earth, because it is here that you will find the hopes and dreams that were never fulfilled, the books that were never written, the songs that were never sung, the inventions that were never shared, the cures that were never discovered because somebody was too afraid to take that first step to keep with the problem or be determined to carry out their dreams." Okay? Drop your fear. Speak to somebody. Come speak to me. I will give you the confidence. I will give you the courage. I'll give you the direction. We can start with a simple business plan to get your idea off the ground. It's that simple, yes. So if you want to talk to me about you've got a business idea and you want to get it off the ground, please come see me, info@thebusinessmission.com. You can also message me through our Facebook page, The Business Mission, as well. Okay, it's Nancy Steidel. I'm signing off now. It's been really lovely to have you part of this Talk Tuesday today. I will be here next Tuesday, 12 noon UK time, in the Business Mission's Facebook page with other tips and advice on business. Have a great and successful week ahead.